Keith Brophy and I have known each other forever. Back, I can't remember that first company that you started. What was it called?
Sa- Sagestone back in the day.
Sage
Yeah, that's
Stone.
right,
That was
Sage
it.
Stone. Gosh, that's like 20 or 25 years ago. Uh,
Right.
he's a serial entrepreneur. I've tracked his progress. Mostly, he just runs a lot with his wife. But other than that, I know he's a serial entrepreneur. I'm not sure if he's running from his wife. She seems to have one of those rolling pins in her hand all the time. But besides that, what he's going to be talking about today is the history of Tech Trends, which is an annual event over in the Grand Rapids area. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Great. Yeah. Thank you for having me. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I don't know what that was. They happen still in 2023, but a good segue to Tech Trends. Tech Trends started around 1998, is a happy hour with 10 predictions that I shared. Originally, is for the Small Business Development Center, looking to the future. And back in the days when we started it, it was before social media or smartphones in every hand, and there wasn't as much access to future predictions. So I shared them at this event for the 20, 30 people that were there. Over the years, the event grew. Organization called Aim West took it forward, and we continued it for over 20 years. Eventually, it built to crowds of around 300, hearing 10 predictions. And the event was always very serious in the predictions, but a lot of fun as well, with the intent to provoke conversation. The event's been dormant for a few years as Aim West had ramped down. And this year, West Michigan Tech Talent is bringing back the return of Tech Trends. Couldn't be a better time with what's going on with AI in the world. And it's going to be this Thursday, April 27th at Creston Brewery. We have a limit of 225 people, and we're almost at capacity. So if anybody wants to join, they should go to West Michigan Tech Talent and sign up today. It's a free event, but it will be limited to 225.
So tell me a little bit about why Tech Trends is coming back. I mean, it's the kind of event where there's no shortage of technology gurus out there these days. So why bring back the event now?
Yeah, it's a great question. What's the relevance of the event in 2023? I'd reached the point myself as the sponsoring organization had ramped down. I was a bit relieved a few years back because there's a fair amount of work to pull together the trends every year. And we live in an age where anybody can just go to their search engine and look for 20 trends or 30 predictions or 100 predictions, and social media bombards us with technology gizmos and forecasts. But the relevance, I believe, is twofold in 2023. Number one, the great networking that the event provided. We've always worked to have a high spirit of fun and engagement. And a lot of people made connections, friendships, found jobs through the Tech Trends event over the years. So there's a lot of people in West Michigan and some of our visitors from across the state that kept asking for it to come back. Additionally, a lot of the things we talked about for those 20 years are predictions that were pretty audacious, and some of them unfold over years or decades. We have reached the era this year of "I told you so." Like, we talked about these big things coming. They're going to shake up the world and reinvent the workforce and shift businesses, and it's relevant to talk about that together. So the trends will be intentionally provocative at this year's event, and we're looking forward to having everybody there in person to dive into them again.
All right.
So, go ahead,
Go
Matt.
ahead, Mike. Well, okay. I'll ask. Tell me about some of those predictions that you made where you can now say, I told you so. And, if you care to, a couple that were maybe off the mark as well.
Absolutely. In the big picture, it's easy to get trends right, especially if you take the view that they unfold over years or decades. But that's how most inventions and innovations work. The phone, the airplane, all of them were really dozens of inventors, hundreds of patents over decades. But that said, we predicted social media at Tech Trends before there was a Facebook or a Twitter. We predicted the rise of social media. We talked about cybersecurity being a real issue. I was listening with great interest to the prior speaker, Joe, talking about that amazing headlight hack of today. We talked about things like that when cybersecurity was not even much thought of, let alone a line of business for so many organizations. We talked about the rise of the smartphones. We talked about the demise of traditional publishing. I remember a year where we talked about how traditional publishing would be pushed aside by online approaches. A local publisher grabbing me afterwards. We had a very a good but animated conversation. And we talked about the rise of facial recognition. Where we were a little bit off the mark is I did predict that Facebook would go out of business. I thought it'd be knocked aside by other social media giants. And I guess in a way, the fact that there's a Meta and Facebook has shifted a bit. That prediction was maybe partly right, but mostly off the mark. I did think that virtual reality and robots would come on much faster than they have. And long ago, I predicted we would all have chips in our arms by now. And that was way wrong. But the advantage of being a futurist, you can take a 50-year view. One of the trends we're going to talk about this year is Neuralink, a company that is working to put chips inside of brains.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's another Elon Musk venture, right? I think it is.
That's Elon Musk venture, yes.
I wonder how he's going to tie that in with everything else. So is your brain going to go into space and then also in a Tesla or something? Or no, I guess not.
What's really scary, Mike, is the thought that maybe somebody can just think a tweet and it goes out on Twitter someday.
Oh God, that would be horrible.
That'd be really dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd really rather not know what's in everyone else's thought bubble. Just no thanks.
They can think what they want, but just don't say it, right? You know? God, wouldn't that be scary? Yeah, all right. And any other trends you want to predict here? Because now it's on video and I'm going to hold you to it next year. So go ahead. Any other ones that you want to talk about besides the Neuralink?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the transformation of education, the major transformation of healthcare ahead, what future policing will look like in 10 years, the manufacturing revolution. But the theme of the year is the giant uptick in AI. And my sense, having gone to some of the nation's largest health tech conferences over the last couple of months, is that our leaders are by and large missing the mark. Some of them asleep at the wheel on this. I've heard over the past months, multiple national leaders say that this AI uptick, it'll be significant, but it's a lot of hype. It's a lot of exuberance that's going to take a long time to play out. And, they're not reading the tea leaves right. This is a pivotal shift in the acceleration of AI technologies across all kinds of industries and solutions. So we'll talk about that and do a bit of a deep dive on AI.
Yeah, as part of Chat GTP is now, I'm told by the end of the year, it's going to be mind-boggling. So they need to take this very seriously because this, I can't think of another tech trend that's come along that could have the impact that AI might have, especially if it's used in the wrong hands, right?
Absolutely. Leaders from across the tech industry put out a letter requesting a 6-month pause on AI development of certain types of major experiments with AI. The release of Chat GPT itself was delayed because it was deemed too dangerous back in 2018. There's a lot of layers to where we are with AI today, but I think the biggest one is using Chat GPT, and some of us now are in Chat GPT 4. The workforce is already reinvented. I know so many businesses and colleagues that are already doing new things with Chat GPT. And so the job shift, the job displacement, the new job introduction, it's already started quietly by everybody that's using these new tools.
All right, one more time. If for those limited seats that are available, how do they sign up so they can hear the man himself on Thursday, right?
This Thursday is on the upper room at Creston Brewery, free admission and a free drink to all attendees. To sign up, go to westmichigantechtalent.com. That's westmichigantechtalent.com. It starts at 5 o'clock p.m. registration, 5:45. The event kicks off. We've been able to enjoy attendees from across the state over the years, Detroit friends, Lansing friends, a lot of the Grand Rapids crowd. So come on out, and we don't ask that you agree with the trends. We do ask that you just engage in the networking and lively conversation around them.